This time next week, NFL teams are going to be in training camp, some of them at least, including the Chicago Bears. I have a list here of the biggest concerns facing teams as they get ready for training camp. For the Bears, the concern is, can they protect Caleb Williams? Is that the biggest concern going into 2024? I think it's, can they rush the passer?
Oh, man. Rush the passer, and we saw some of it, Cap, toward the end of the season last year. We thought that the arrow was pointing up for the defensive line, the pass rush. But protection of this rookie quarterback is paramount, is it not?
I don't disagree. It is, but I think Shea is missing the boat here because he is saying rush the passer only comes if you have amazing rush edges. When you have an incredible defensive backfield,
Up the middle.
of talent.
Yeah.
You have pressure up the middle. You got a really good player, Montez Sweat. Oh, by the way, you have linebackers that can all run. There's such things called coverage sacks. You can get to the quarterback in other ways, be creative. Absolutely, 100%. My biggest concern is, can they protect Caleb enough to let him make plays?
That is a concern because it's about the timing. Caleb Williams was not, has had practices, but he's got to get a feel of the game. It is faster than college, that's for sure. And he had an iron gate in front of him of an offensive line at times at USC. But it's different in the NFL. You already have chirping from the Titans before game ones here of how they want to be able to. This one guy wants to twist the neck off of Caleb Williams' shoulders. Remember this, right? We talked about this like a month ago.
Yeah.
The Titans already chirping to try to get after the rookie.
Jeffrey Simmons. Let's go.
I'm so glad it's the Titans.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not a marquee game. I'm glad it's the Titans. That's a winnable ball game.
It is.
Caleb can be hopefully comfortable in the pocket. Whatever mistakes he makes, let it happen against them before it happens against Green Bay.
Then let's go.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah.
So, I think it's the offensive line, the protection of Caleb Williams for me. Eberflus is still going to have his beak in there. He's at the DC, but he's gonna tighten the screws, I think.
I hear he might still be calling the defense. That's fine.
Okay.
He's really good at it.
No problem.
Let's go.
All right, Shay, what else?
All right, for the Lions, the biggest concern is, do they finally have enough to elevate their defense? They addressed it heavily. They brought in 4 new cornerbacks, Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, drafted Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw. They also signed DJ Reader. They brought in edge rusher Marcus Davenport to play opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. Are they going to be good enough defensively to be a Super Bowl winning team, which is the expectation for them this year?
I think that was the thing that they had to shore up, Cap, in the offseason, right? Their secondary. If there was a weakness on the Lions, it was that, wasn't it?
It was, and now C.J. Gardner-Johnson, where did he go? Back to Philly?
Yeah.
He went back to Philly, so they had to replace him, and he was injured part of last year, and they needed to shore up the depth in that secondary as well. I think they've done that.
Yeah, Shay, you mentioned DJ Reader, right, on the defensive line?
Yep.
Yeah.
He came from where, the Bengal?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that if anything else, and this is still me saying that the Lions will take a little bit of a step back but still be in the playoffs this year, I think that that's the elixir that can help them because that was glaring for them last year, their secondary play.
How many games did the Lion win last year?
12.
12. I think they get there again. They're really good, man. Really good.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They level up in competition. The can you repeat deal, like hunted, not hunter. That all of that deters me a little bit from saying they'll just go win 12 again.
I still think they're the class of the division, Cap.
Agree.
I just think it's trying to repeat that again, to be able to do that again. That's tough. But I still think that that's the problem that the Bears and the Packers in particular got to get through. Well coached, clearly. They've got the weapons. We'll see. All right, what about the other teams?
For the Green Bay Packers, this is ridiculous to me. How will the second outside cornerback spot shake out? Like, what? Eric Stokes is starting there now opposite Jair Alexander, but the 2021 first-round pick, despite everyone singing his praises in May and June, has barely played over the last season and a half. Look, the Packers' defense last year was atrocious, in large part because the scheme was a joke. They replaced their defensive coordinator. We'll see how that pans out. For me, if I'm a Packer fan, my primary concern is, will Jordan Love continue the ascension to stardom?
That should be the number one concern. You were impressed with what you saw last year. Can you replicate it? That's the whole thing about sports, but especially the NFL, Cap. You could say, hey, Jordan Love, he fooled a lot of people, turned a lot of heads. Can you do it again? If you have some injuries, can you overcome it by your play instead of having to depend on your teammates? There's always questions when it comes to this. Is he a good enough quarterback to get you over the hump if there's issues? Say your defense isn't very good or your offensive line is collapsible, or rickety. What can you do about it as a quarterback? Big question mark.
No question. And in terms of Jordan Love, he's legit, man. That guy's the real deal. Real freaking deal. Now, do they have enough depth defensively? Was this all a Joe Barry problem? We're going to find out.
I think Jordan Love is my big question about the Packers. If we think that the Bears are going to take a major step this year and be in the playoffs, the Packers will have something to say about it.
Oh, yeah. If you lose both to the Packers and we concede that the Lions are the best team in the division, you better not lose many more then.
There's a lot of questions with that Packer team for me. Left tackle, they drafted Jordan Morgan, the kid out of, I think, Auburn. The wide receivers are a bunch of no-name guys who excelled last year, but is that repeatable? Is that all Matt LaFleur's scheme? Is he just that good? Jordan Love has to be that good again. You have to show me the defense is worth anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot more question marks than certainties, but if all of those things are good, the Packers are going to be really good.
And Albert Breer will tell you that the Vikings will be heard from. If you recall his report, he doesn't think that they're going to take 2 steps back. He feels like they're going to be in the mix.
Yeah, the problem is they're just so much worse than the rest of this division, and they have the question of who is this team's number 3 wide receiver? Brandon Powell, Jalen Naylor. They lost KJ Osborne. He's in New England.
Well,
the weaponry outside of Justin Jefferson gets rough. And TJ Hawkinson, like it or not, is not the productive beast that he was 2 years ago.
Wait, you said the weaponry outside of Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
Jordan Addison. And Hawkinson's better than I think you're giving him credit for. Yes, he's coming off an ACL. That's an issue. When did he tear that thing? How early in the season?
well, we talked about would he be ready for the season when the season starts, right?
He says he will be.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to Evan Cohen, he would tell you the tight end is vital. That all you need is Jefferson and Hawkinson.
Well,
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Our wide receiver doesn't matter.
Right.
That's what he said.
Jordan Addison's a beast.
What else is a question on the team? Is it the defensive line?
I don't know if defensive line's a huge question. They went out and drafted Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
And they signed Jonathan Greenard.
They still have Flores as the defensive coordinator. He was excellent, even if he's a blitz or nothing guy. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest question for me is how much is J.J. McCarthy going to play? Are you going to rock with Sam Darnold into November?
That's a question.
Some guy just now on DraftKings, I saw this, like they have like Bleacher Report gambling will have, hey, this big bet was made. Some guy just bet like a lot of money on Sam Darnold to be the league MVP.
No shot.
Yeah.
Zero shot.
Agreed.
Hand me the money.
By the way, I said Jordan Morgan from Auburn. He's from Arizona. I was working off memory. All I could see was an A in my mind's eye.
All I see is an A.
Arizona tackle Jordan Morgan.